Staying in the region, and 19 years ago, the UK handed Hong Kong over to China. As politicians celebrated the anniversary, dozens of pro-democracy protesters scuffled with police. Hong Kong citizens enjoy more freedom than people in mainland China, but tensions have risen in recent months after Chinese authorities seized 6 booksellers for selling material that criticised President Xi Jinping. Well, for more on this story, Patrick Fock joins me now from Hong Kong. As you can see, one of the marches is taking place. Patrick, what's the atmosphere like there where you are?
Well, we were expecting a little bit of rain, but the rain clouds seem to have drifted overnight. It is still a hot and humid day here in Hong Kong, but that hasn't stopped people coming out in force today. Estimates put that number at around 100,000 people. Remember last year, that was relatively modest. Only around 50,000 people turned out, in part because another demonstration took place shortly before on the vetoing of electoral reform, so possibly a little bit of protest fatigue coming into play there. But a lot of people out in force today, like I say. There is a sense of disillusionment that people have been talking about, particularly among young people. A lot of them feel that this protest isn't achieving what they want, and that it's to some extent been futile for them. And indeed, many localist groups, which include many young people, those are the groups that want to separate from the mainland altogether, are organizing their own protests outside the Beijing liaison office today, and that's expected to go on well into the night.
So is there anything particularly different about this year's protest march?
Well, the theme of this year's march is at war with 689. 689 is a mocking reference to the number of votes garnered by Chief Executive CY Leung when he came to the helm in 2012. A lot of people discontent with his leadership, and of course relations with China have been extremely charged as well in recent months because of the apparent abduction of booksellers from Hong Kong. Lam Wing-Ki, one of them, has just returned from China after spending 8 months there. He was meant to be leading the march today, but has withdrawn for the sake of his safety today. A lot of people are blaming CY Leung for not doing enough to prevent things like this happening, and for not addressing the issue forcefully enough with Beijing. So a lot of people coming out here today to say that they don't want CY Leung to stand again for another 5 years when his term ends next year.
Okay, Patrick, thank you very much.